Hi, I'm Anthony, and welcome to my garage. Today, I'm going to be turning these hooks into something useful as a way of organized cord storage that doesn't take up a lot of room. Follow along with me. So I have this cord storage holder in my trailer. I went out this morning to buy all new stuff to make a brand new one so that I could show you how it can be done buying only parts from one of the big box stores. I just happened to go to the one that was orange. Everything's fairly basic in what you can buy. You can make it more elaborate if you want. You can use wood, you could use all metal, you could use all aluminum. It just depends what resources you have available to you. And you may be able to find more economical resources. You may have the scraps laying around already to build this project. I do not have a welder, so I didn't go with the welding route. I wanted to go something simple. You need a saw, a drill, some drill bits, and a hole saw is the only thing you're going to need. And you'll see me using other things that just makes it a little bit easier for me. If you have those tools, use them. If you don't have them, you don't necessarily have to have them. So the cord rack I currently have in my trailer, I used 5/4 oak. I did that for strength, and I didn't want to use non-hardwood or didn't want to use plywood. And I was strolling around the box store this morning and couldn't find any 5/4 except for stair tread, and that was like $28 for a 4-foot piece, and that was still finger jointed. So I looked around a bit and I was like, you know what? Why don't we just go with some Southern Yellow Pine? And it was under $10. So after a bit of setup here on my drill press, I think I have it where I like it. And I'm just going to put it in here, and no, this is not going to be the right size for my actual hooks, but that's the biggest size bit I can get in there, so I'll use that to drill a straight hole. I'll come back and just put this drill bit in my drill, my hand drill, and just run it down through there and just ream it out a little bit so it keeps it from breaking apart. So I know this hole here that I used on the drill press is too small for my hook without breaking it all up. So I've added the next larger size bit in my drill, and I'm just going to drill them all out. If you don't have a drill press, you can do it this way to begin with. Just try to find something that you can line your drill up straight this way and this way. They're not going to be perfectly straight. Even with my drill press, it's not perfectly straight because my blocks aren't perfectly square. So next up, I'm going to drill the pivot hole where this block and hook will pivot from the arm. So on this step, I'm just going to nip off these edges right here just to soften them up a little bit. Keep you from catching your fingers or knuckles or anything on. It makes it look a little nicer. This is not a step you need to do. It's just something I did to soften it up a little bit. So that's the steps. Let's just flip it around and knock those edges off. And I got a whole bunch more to do, so I'll be back. So after much flipping and a flapping, I got these all cut. So putting these in, these are really coarse threads. They don't really have an edge on them. They're more of a, instead of a cutting, they're more of a biting, just wedging in there. You could go get a specific size drill bit for this and get it just a little bit looser if you're finding this is still cracking up. If it's not cracking up, you can use these. You can, I mean, there's so many different variations that you could use to get this to not break and this to maybe even be smaller, put a different thread on it, or, you know, whatever you're capable of. Alright, I didn't have any of them break, so I feel pretty good about that you can use this. I made like 4 extra and none of them broke, so we're good to go. So here I've just taken my tubing and laid it out, measurements that I want, and I'm going to drill the holes all the way through and do that for both sides. So got all my bolts in there. Now just put the hooks on here. I'm going to use one of the blocks that I didn't use for this process. My drill press isn't tall enough to use this on to get the depth that I need. So I'm just taking the holes that I made here, or the plugs that I made, I'm going to cut them to length. You could also do this with dowel rod if you don't have a hole saw. It's completely up to you. So I cut these out earlier These are my side brackets. And what I'm gonna do now is cut the between, and I'm still using the southern yellow pine, so let me cut that out. So this will be my back plate of my mounting bracket. Put these up here. This here you can leave as long as you want. My original one, the first time I did it, I made it this length here. But what I realized was the more surface area you have back here to mount this to, the better, or the more height adjustability you have in your trailer, especially if you're running up against the top of your wall. Like mine actually sticks up now. I put a new piece of plywood behind it, and it sticks up past my wall, my plywood wall in my trailer. So I had to slide it up on a piece of plywood and mount it to that. So I'm just going to pre-drill these to help them keep from breaking and splitting. With the yellow pine being as grainy as it is, I would suggest pre-drilling everything, because it will move on you. Just enough to get it started. So I'm just adding another block here, just something else to tie it all together with. So you can tie it together from the sides here. Alright, so that kind of ties it all together. So let's put the rest of this together and see what she looks like. So I've got my length for my rod here for my upper pivot point. I'll go ahead and cut this to length. I'll drill some holes in here in the end for my clips to go through, and so it holds everything in place. So I'm just going to take another drill bit and go into that hole right there just to countersink it a little bit, just to smooth it out. Just something a couple sizes bigger. Alright, this hole here is for this right here. So I just pop that in like that. Okay, I'm getting to the end of my project and my bench is messy. It's about to drive me crazy, but I'm so close to done, I don't want to stop. Alright, I got a washer and a clip on one end. Start that in there. First spacer. Alright, get that through there. I need my center spacer. Next spacer. And I need my final washer and my last clip. So here's the final cord rack. I don't have any place to mount it inside my garage here right now where you could see it actually. But this mounts to the wall just like this. And then you open this up like this. Hang your cords, hoses, whatever you want on there. And then you can fold it back down. And I'll show you in my trailer how I have a chain and a hook on the end. On this end here, I have a chain on it or a hook on there, and when I lift it up, I can hook it onto a chain I have hanging from the ceiling. So I can leave it there, take my hoses and cords off, and then put it back down when it's out of the way. So what I've done is taken all this, put together a materials list, all the dimensions, measurements, everything that you need, all in one list. And for a small donation of $5, send me an email through my email address that I have listed on the screen or in the description, and I'll get it to you that way as quickly as we can in PDF. So that's it right there. Hopefully this is what you guys were looking for. If it is what you're looking for, it's not that hard to build. It's fairly simple. You can probably figure it out on your own. If you do want the plans, I'd be happy to get them to you. If you like these videos, click the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, click the like button. I'll be posting more videos of this stuff. Things I've done in my trailer, just little odds and ends that I think are useful. So stay tuned and come back again. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.